It's a hockey night in St. Louis, and Jaden Schwartz and the Blues face a Coyotes team that has won 3 straight on the road. But the Blues, well, they're ready to respond as well, including Paul Stastny, as they host these Coyotes. And you'll see it right now on Fox Sports Midwest. A franchise record 13 straight games with at least a point is now old news, with the Blues stumbling in their last 2. But the note right back at it tonight at Scottrade. They welcome in the Arizona Coyotes, and you'll see it right here on your home of the note, Fox Sports Midwest. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Scottrade Center, and welcome to Blues Hockey. I'm Pat Paris. The Blues hoping for a bounce-back effort this evening as they face an Arizona Coyotes hockey club that they've outscored 12-1 in a pair of wins earlier this season. Will that domination continue tonight? Let's find out. John Kelly, Darren Pang, standing by with the call of the Blues and Coyotes. Guys?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. A couple of things to keep in mind. The Blues have not lost 3 straight in regulation all year. And Darren, they can't take these Coyotes lightly. Arizona has won 3 in a row on the road, including a big win in Chicago last night.
Well, you are exactly right, and they're playing a tighter-knit hockey, more like a Dave Tippett style, and at this point they're getting some good goaltending from Mike Smith as well, and you know what it's like when you get good goaltending. Everybody else plays with a whole lot of confidence, and that's where Phoenix is at right now.
But a big boost tonight for the Blues, Darren. The Blues get Jori Lehtera back from his concussion.
Obviously significant. The chemistry between Jori Lehtera and Vladimir Tarasenko is obviously significant. He's good on the face-off dot. He's a really terrific 200-foot centerman, and clearly the strength of the Blues is at center ice, with Paul Stastny being able to jump into that line as well. But when you look at the 2 wingers that he has, there's some instant chemistry there. But this is how they've worked all season long. You see how tight this 3-man unit is. That was from the very beginning, where they support the puck extremely well. Not a whole lot of one-on-one, and if he plays in the corner, although we're showing Tarasenko and his brilliance because he has the ability to do just that. But for Jori Lehtera, the wingers know that he can take care of the defensive side of the puck, and they can obviously get up the ice in a hurry. But when you see them around each zone, it's all in 3-man, Pac-Man mentality, and it's awfully good.
Darren, as you know, the Coyotes' strength is on the blue line. As a matter of fact, one defenseman leads the team in goals, and another one leads the team in points. Very unusual.
Well, so you better be aware, especially if you're the forwards, where these 2 fine young defensemen are. They're playing with the most amount of confidence that they've played all season long. And for the Boston native, Keith Yandle, he leads the team with 39 points. And that's a rarity in the NHL. But then you look even further, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, well, he leads them in goals with 16. So it's been since 2008 that we've seen a 20-goal scorer on the blue line. Ekman-Larsson's knocking on the door.
Mike Smith played last night, played very well in Chicago, Darren, and he's right back in goal tonight for Arizona.
Well, and we know he's a big guy at 6'4". He controls his crease very well, plays the puck well, so you got to really be careful where you dump pucks.
Well, the Blues have had some great success this year against the Coyotes. A couple of wins down in the desert, including a big 6-0 victory back on January 6th. The hero that night was David Backes, who had 4 goals in that 6-0 victory. Blues and Coyotes next from Scottrade. St. Louis Blues Hockey is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. In, up, fix, out, Dobbs does it all. Get great offers on 2015 Chevy models. Find new roads at your Mid-America Chevrolet dealer. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. It is the 3rd and final regular season meeting between the Blues and Arizona. Tonight's Dobbs starting goaltenders. Jake Allen in his last start, he blanked Buffalo. He has won 4 in a row, has the rookie Jake Allen, and he'll go against the veteran Mike Smith, who was great last night in Chicago, stopping 36 of 38 in a 3-2 shootout win. For the Coyotes, they begin with Shane Doan, Toby Reeder, and Antoine Vermette. Against the Blues, big line of Backes, Oshie, and Alexander Steen. Blues 2-0 against the Coyotes. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And the Blues win the opening draw. And Alex Pietrangelo funnels it back of the goal, played by Smith. He loves to handle the puck on the wing for the German Reeder. Can't move it by Oshie. And he lost the handle, flipped along, and now carried to center by Tobias Reeder. And he goes wide on Pietrangelo, centers it in a good stick there by Allen, and it's cleaned up by Backes. Now on for Steen, and he fans on that, and the play is offside.
Well, you can see the lines on your screen of Fox Sports Midwest. The coaching staff has made a change to the defensive pairings for this hockey game. Berglund, of course, goes over to the left with Stastny falling down there with Jori Lehtera back in the lineup. But Butler and Pietrangelo will be paired together, whereas Gunnarsson and Butler have been together for a few games since Shattenkirk's injury. And Bouwmeester and Gunnarsson paired together. Bouwmeester will go to the right, where he's played a little bit of time in Florida and in Calgary, and Gunnarsson stays on the left.
And it certainly is not etched in stone, but Hitch said to us that we need a second pair to get the job done. As the Blues work it in there. Flipped by Jackman, and he recovers at center ice. And the STL line back together tonight. Lehtera's missed the last 6 after getting hurt against Nashville on January 29th. And now Tarasenko to center ice. Coyotes get it back. And a pass for Sam Gagner, too far. And that goes the distance, and we get an icing call.
We'll get a chance now as Summers gets back into the lineup with Connor Murphy out for the Arizona Coyotes for our Toyota Keys to the game. And obviously defending against a really good offensive pair of defensemen there with Yandel and with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and closing the gap all over the ice. I tell you, Arizona, are playing a real tight 5-man unit. It starts with the play of their goaltender. Now they've got a lot more confidence than the last time the Blues played them.
They won 3 straight on the road and 4-2-1 in their last 7 overall. Now it is Dmitry Yashkin with Stastny and Berglund. So Berglund back on the wing again tonight. And now Stastny in deep. Trying to center one. Quick shot by Berglund. Hit a leg, goes wide. And now recovered by Yashkin. Trying to work off the wall. Leaves it for Stastny. And his shot, and that was off a shin pad, grabbed by Gunnarsson. And from a tough angle. Now Gunnarsson wheels it back to the goal. Here's Stastny again. Yashkin picks it up. Drops it off to Bouwmeester. And then drilled all the way around the boards. Erat missed it. Now he gets it by Gunnarsson, and the Coyotes clear to center ice. And then thrown in by Gagner, gloved by Allen, and played to Bouwmeester.
I thought Yashkin had a real good start to the game Sunday afternoon against the Blackhawks, and same with Ty Ratty, who's been sent down to the American League.
But he gives it away here, and the rookie Brendan Shinnimin, a shot was wide. And now the Blues to center ice. Marcel Gottsch lost it, and then Ott flips it back in his own zone for Cole. On to center ice to Reeves, who had some root canal work yesterday after getting a boot in the face on Sunday.
Yeah, he sure did. In fact, trainer Ray Barilli went onto the ice during the timeout and found half of one of his teeth.
Now Ott a drive and a big rebound in front. Kicked away by Smith. And now grabbed by the Coyotes to the Blues line. And former Blue B.J. Crombie. Dumped back in by Reeves.
A good step up there by Yandel, not allowing Reeves any room, only a little chip in right there.
Now turned over, Backes in front. Here's Steen to drive, and that was blocked up in the air. Steen trying to knock it down. Now it goes down low for Backes. He battles against McCulloch. And the Coyotes come up with it. Yandel's pass, tipped to center ice. And now for the longtime captain, Doan, backhander on goal by Reeder. Handled easily by Allen.
Reeder's a good complement to that line. Vermette's a good two-way player, and Doan bullies his way up and down that wing, but that Reeder's got some good speed. He'll drive hard to the net.
Aaron, he had 7 shots last night in Chicago.
He was a factor, no question.
And now Backes. Twist one in behind the goal. And around for Oshie. Funneled to Backes, who loses an edge and is grabbed by Doan. And Doan's pass now for Antoine Vermette, who had the shootout winner last night. Can't work it deep. Coyotes trying to change. Here the Blues into the zone. Now for Schwartz. And he pulls up to make a play, but a good stick there by Chipchura to break it up. Into Korpikoski. And the Finn feathers it in front. That was broken up by a great back check by Tarasenko. And now Schwartz to center ice. jammed in behind the goal. Smith a pass to the wing. And off the boards to Korpikoski and out. And Tarasenko again, the first man back.
Always good when you start the game that way. Coming back through the middle of the ice, picking up a potential scoring chance. So good start for Tarasenko on the defensive side of it.
And now Laterra tips one in. The first man back is Michael Stone. At the line, Pietrangelo. That was tipped on the way through by Laterra, but not on goal. And then thrown high to center ice. Now Erad into Reeder. 2-on-1. He cuts in. A shot. He scores! What a shot by Reeder. And it's 1-0. Gagne instead of Reeder, my apologies, and it's 1-0. What a shot, though, by Gagne.
Yeah, terrific play. I mean, the right-handed shot comes down on the right side. He kind of waits a little bit as this puck goes down to Erad. Erad just pokes it by Butler on a 2-on-1. Pietrangelo goes down, taking away the pass. And this is a play where the goaltender's got to stay patient with the shooter. But instead, you can see the glove position there of Jake Allen. He drops his glove, sliding over, anticipating a pass. And that's an intelligent play there by Gagne, beating him high to the short side.
His first goal in 6 games, 10th of the year for the former first rounder by the Oilers. Now Ian Cole to the corner. At the line, it is Yashkin. Twirls and can't get a shot on goal, and Shinnimin out of the zone. Shinnimin out of the Western Hockey League, the former major junior player of the year in the Canadian League. Put up big numbers in the Western League, did Shinnimin. And now the Blues tip to center, hammered back in by Andrew Campbell, and that's an offside.
Well, the Arizona Coyotes came at the Blues in numbers here, and you can see where Butler's in a situation there. He's playing this one-on-one, and instead it gets beyond him. It's a 2-on-1 break. Pietrangelo goes and slides, taking away the potential pass, leaving that play to the goaltender. Only beat by the good hands and quick reaction there of Sam Gagne. And, you know, from a goalie's perspective, I always hated any goal beat me on the short side. It's your job to maintain position for as long as possible and stay square to the shooter on that short side. If there's a great pass and you get beat back door, well, then it's a great pass and you credit them. But that always lies on the shoulders of the goaltender, in my opinion.
Last year, Gagne had 10 goals in 67 games in Edmonton, was traded to Tampa Bay and then on to Arizona. As we check the Plaza Tire Service scoring summary. And a high drive hit a Coyote in front.
Yeah, that hit Gagne right in the chest.
Another drive, that one by McCulloch, slams off the glass. And Oshie gets it back for the Blues.
What a move.
Another great move by TJ Oshie. And now a little flipper on goal. And a right pad save by Smith, and we get a whistle. So a good start for Arizona. Gagne the goal from Erad and Stone at 4:42. BMO Harris Bank wants you to show your sign in support of the Blues. Tweet a picture of you and your sign to hashtag BMO Blues Sign Contest for a chance to win Blues prizes and have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Visit BMOHarris.com/Blues Sign Contest or visit a local branch near you for details. And here are some of the signs that are on display tonight.
That's a good one, too. Some good artwork going on.
You've got to be creative, Darren.
Well, you have to bring it to the people.
And off the face-off, Chris Butler, the first man back for the Blues. Chased all the way back to the goal by Doan. Now it caroms to Pietrangelo, back for Butler. And on to Reeves. And the big man trying to get the legs going. Look out. Saw Doan at the last second. And now Butler a pass. That hits a stick, and Vermette gets it back for Arizona. And now Butler a third time. And then Reeves on the backhand, flips it in, goes after it. Smith to handle it. On the boards now for Vermette out of his reach. And this will go all the way down for an icing call.
Well, big Ryan Reeves is going to go off for a line change here, and you talked about Sunday right here. He was going to take a minor penalty on this trip on Teravainen right there, and as Teravainen, number 86, comes up, look at his right skate, the heel of his skate comes up and just flips big Ryan Reeves, and he goes for some little dental work and obviously the tooth, and had some root canal work done as well. At the end of the day, I guess shouldn't have tripped him.
And off the face-off, Lehtera to Tarasenko, and that is broken up. And they'll play to center ice into Yandel. He works in a high shot and a glove save by Allen on Yandel's drive.
Well, this is what we're talking about with the wingers paying attention to Keith Yandel. You've got to have your head on a swivel. I'm sure people have heard that phrase enough from coaches around the NHL. But when you know that you've got Yandel or Oliver Ekman-Larsson jumping up the ice, then you've got to be aware of that. So the winger coming back has got to latch on just a little bit, and that's Schwartz right there. You got to keep moving your skates and moving your skates in a straight line coming back to help your D. If the D don't feel like there's a forward coming back, they're not going to hold the line and close gaps. And that could potentially become a scarier offensive opportunity.
Aaron, how about this number? Yandel is 7th in the league with 367 total chances from a defenseman.
Well, I've seen him enough to know that he's got tremendous offensive instincts, and he's got the green light to go. And when you've got the green light to go, and you have that ability, well, you're going to get those chances. But that is an extraordinary amount of chances.
Here's a little backhander on goal by Brendan McMillan. And the Blues clear to center ice. And the first player back is Zdeněk Michalek out of the Czech Republic. Snapped in by Ekman-Larsson. And around for Irak, the longtime Predator. Now in front of Gagne. Now a shot. He tried to go over the glove again on Jake Allen.
Well, see, that's the thing about video. You know, when you see it once in a situation, the goal scorers out there, they'll just keep trying that. So it's going to be imperative for Jake Allen to be solid, be strong, and take that away.
Wide open is Lehtera, and it's saved by Smith as Lehtera got a pass, and he was wide open on left wing.
Smith is looking for the puck. In that paraphernalia, Smith did a good job of pushing with his left edge of his skate and getting there to his right. Nice pass by Tarasenko over to Schwartz. Schwartz with all kinds of traffic layers this feathery little heel-to-toe saucer pass, and Lehtera thinks he's got the big fella between the legs, but he doesn't. Although Smith does hesitate a second and look behind him, which is never a bad thing to do, just in case it's just trickling right there.
Lehtera did have a concussion a couple of years ago in the KHL. He said that one was worse. The one he experienced with the Blues. And Tarasenko blocked.
Yeah, good shot blocked by Stone.
And off the face-off, Tarasenko gets it back. And his pass comes to center ice. And then ripped back in by Pietrangelo. Shots are 7-3 for the Coyotes, who lead on a Gagne goal. That's thrown in deep by Yandel. And Yashkin around for Pietrangelo, now to center ice. And Summers will play it back in his own zone. And then Summers again. Look out. Almost lost it as Berglund was in there.
Oh, nice
and now
play.
Yashkin flips it to himself. And then to the corner for Stastny. Campbell back on him. And the puck worked free. Summers up the boards. That's cut off and held in by Berglund. And Yashkin again. He works the wall. Berglund for Bouwmeester. And a drive. That was off Stastny. Maybe on his arm and wide of the goal.
Yeah, I don't think Stastny was too thrilled with that puck going that high. I mean, he took a look back there, and for good reason. But I think the puck got so far ahead of Bouwmeester that he had no chance, because he was just trying to keep it in the zone.
And a stretch pass for Reeves. He pulls up on Yandel. Now on the cycle for Gotch. And then Gotch hooks one back of the goal for Ott. To the back to Jackman. Looking for shooting lane. He finds Reeves. The drive, and that was blocked in front. And taken by B.J. Crombeen. Now to center ice for Lesio.
That was good patience shown by Barrett Jackman on that play at the left point.
And we get an offside. Past the 10-minute mark in the first. Coyotes up by 1.
Well, two good decisions made. One by Barrett Jackman on the left point to give himself a different lane. He goes this way, but watch where the forward Ryan Reeves ends up going right there. Puts himself in a good position right in the middle of the ice, and he really gets a lot on this shot with Marcel Gotch in front of the net. And you can see that big Ryan Reeves gets it beyond Ott, and a good blocker save there by Mike Smith as he punches it into the corner and out of harm's way.
And the Blues off the face-off. Chris Butler He winds it around. Oshie is in there now for Steen. A drive and a blocker saved by Smith. And too hot to handle for Backes, who was right there for the rebound. And now Pietrangelo in from the right point, but it's lobbed high into Blues ice. And tracked down by Butler. Under some pressure there in the corner from David Moss. And now Chip Chura back in the Blues goal. To McCulloch. And he looks around. The puck did come to center ice and then played in offside. I'll get ready to party with the Blues every home game this month. It's Mardi Gras month, and the Blues are bringing you live bands pregame and postgame in Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden, Mardi Gras themed food menus, and much more. Gates open at 5:30, and tickets start at only $29. Go to stlouisblues.com/Mardi Gras and buy your tickets today. Here's Carl Gunnarsson back for the Blues. And ahead for Schwartz. Blues have numbers to center ice. 3-on-2. Schwartz in to Tarasenko, and the puck rolled off his blade just as he was about to shoot it. And he hooks it back to the line, but Gunnarsson cannot hold it in.
Yeah, well, the key there is Laterra getting through the middle of the ice and getting the defenseman to back off and leaving that far side open.
And now a pass in front, broken up by Erat. And tipped to center by Arizona. Here's Bouwmeester again playing the right side tonight. He played a lot of the right side in Calgary and also with his first team in Florida. And now Keith Yandle. For Stone. To the line to Vermette. He'll toss one to the end boards for Doan. And Ian Cole back to help out his partner Bouwmeester. And now it goes back on the Blues goal. Bouwmeester after it. And off the glass and out. And that hits Berglund. Trickles in on goal. And scooped up by Smith.
Well, Jaden Schwartz and Vladimir Tarasenko had a number of odd man breaks in the game Sunday afternoon against the Blackhawks. This one here, Tarasenko has a chance to fire it, trying to feather one over. This was the first 2-on-1 of the game. The puck was bobbling a little bit. This is a perfect pass by Schwartz, and what a maneuver. Full of patience, settling the puck down, looking like he's going to the forehand, and maybe going low to the stick side, settles it down and goes to the backhander.
And a shot by Steen off the face-off. And then Oshie is upended in front at the whistle.
Well, you're looking for energy and enthusiasm and passion in a game like this following the game on Sunday afternoon. Jam-packed place. Good face-off win rate there and set play. And then Oshie just trying to cram around at it a little bit, and he gets just shoved down there by Summers, and in comes Big Barrett Jackman. Now that Jackman had a real strong game against the Chicago Blackhawks. Physical, had some good licks in, kind of games that for as long as he's been in the NHL, the kind of games that he shines in.
The Blues' lone healthy scratch tonight is Joachim Lindstrom. Good news to see Chris Porter skating with the club, and he will join the club for their 2-game road trip to Florida starting tomorrow, as they get to play the Lightning on Thursday. Now Backes in behind the goal for Steen. To Pietrangelo. And then Oshie, all he can do is tip one back of the goal. Steen is after it. Bothered there by McCulloch. Trickles back to the line. Butler now for Pietrangelo. Wrist shot. Hit Ekman-Larsson. Backes with it. Backes in front. And tried to feather one to Steen. Broken up by Vermette with a good stick there.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit firmer there. And I tell you what, Vermette read that perfectly. Good defensive positioning. Otherwise, it's a hard one-timer.
Now the Blues through the middle of the ice. Berglund drops it off. Here's Yashkin. And a blast was wide of the goal. And then kept in by Pietrangelo. And now in front, taken care of by Stone to center. Jackman stepping up. And Crombeen will poke it in. And Ian Cole back. He was checked. Puck centered to Crombeen, and it bounced over his stick. And now Stastny away for St. Louis. Down the boards for Yashkin. And he gets in quickly. Yashkin emerges with it to the front of the goal. And knocked out of midair. Tarasenko drifting in, but he can't find it. And now Crombeen just lobs it off the boards, but that is an offside.
Well, Dmitry Yashkin's got that puck right in a goal scorer's area, and Once he got it settled down, it looked like he took a little bit too much of a divot there. As you see the whipping of the stick and trying to go to the stick side. From there, it looks a lot closer from my angle. It had to be a good yard wide on the stick side. Since we're heading to Florida, I thought I'd use yards instead of feet.
I see. Like a 100-yard wedge shot is what you're getting to.
I have my rangefinder right here.
Between the benches, you have a rangefinder?
Absolutely. Just to check the yardage.
That could be a first in hockey. And now Chip Chura gets it for Arizona. And then dumped in by David Moss, who played for Red Barons at Michigan. Now the Blues the other way. Bolmeister. And again, a little chip and chase move. Bolmeister to the end wall. Against Summers. And now going the other way is Brandon McMillan. And off the boards and out. Here you can watch these Coyotes play. They are just playing a very positionally strong game. Nothing fancy at all.
What we've seen from Coach Dave Tippett throughout his coaching career. Solid 5-man units. They don't overwhelm you with speed or physical play, but they're good in their positioning.
Now Gotch to a wide open Pietrangelo off the wall. Gotch. And a pass in front to the corner. And then taken by Sam Gagner, who has scored the only goal tonight. And then tipped back of the goal by Andrew Campbell. Kept in Pietrangelo. To Backes, a shot up high. And Smith ducking, but he got his arm up and made the save. And now Backes on the wall. That was tipped away by Gagner. And moved along by Korpikoski.
Oh, good job by Ryan Reeves. Cutting the ice in half there and making sure Korpikoski, if he's going to get that puck in deep, he was going to pay the price. Very good hit by Reeves.
And 5 to play in the first period. And Butler's pass for Pietrangelo. Look out, Steen. Saw a man coming to a wide open Oshie. In the clear. Backhander. Rebound. They score. Steen gets the rebound and ties the game.
With speed going down the right side, Steen, a left-hand shot, is able to corral that first one. And you can see the great pass by Pietrangelo up the ice and a backhand feed there by Backes. Neat little move by Oshie, and there's the play by Steen coming in. Here's the play by Oshie on the backhander. Good save there, and it looked like Steen was going to escape. Oh, no, from this angle here, he's just right there. Just chips it in. I thought he had to take that quickly to the backhand. Not at all. Good positioning, good passing all the way around. It started with Pietrangelo moving that puck up the ice.
Steen's first in 5 games, 18th of the year. Now Yashkin in front, and it was knocked away from him.
Great pass there by Berglund.
So the Blues tie the game at 15-10. Steen gets it from Oshie and Backes, and now the Coyotes ice it.
Well, that line certainly of Steen, Backes, and Oshie has really carried this club. You can see the left defenseman is Pietrangelo. He finds it in the middle of the ice, and Steen actually takes a bit of a bounce right there before it goes to Backes, and then Steen just goes to the front of the net. Just smart hockey all the way around.
So that was one of the few odd man rushes the Blues have had in this first period, and they capitalize. Off the face-off. It is McCulloch up the middle. And now taken by Doan. And he lobs one of the Blues line. Pietrangelo to Butler.
Oop. He had nowhere
there by Moss.
Yeah, Butler's got nowhere to go there. If he's coming in towards me and between the benches there, he's going to get run out of ice time there.
And now chopped along by Jaden Schwartz. Handled by Smith, picked up by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who leads the club with 16 goals. To the corner for Butler. Around to Cole. Tip for Reeves. And just like that, the Blues to center ice. Walked in by Gotch. Gotch to the net. Hot tips that one. And a good save there by Smith. Now Jackman. Back of the goal for Gotch. Trying to work away from Yandel. Puck punched around. Kept in by Cole. And now Cole again. Holds it in for a second time. Here's Gotch. On the wing for Jackman, a shot and a save by Smith.
Good battle in front of the net there between Ott and Stone.
And then Jackman again stepping up, finally worked to center ice. And now Yandel, who has points in 7 straight, gives it up to Jackman, who's played a very aggressive game in all 3 zones.
He has been. He's been really holding the line extremely well, picking off a lot of pucks right at center ice.
And Oshie picks off this puck. Oshie flips it on goal, and a save by Smith. Steen after the rebound. Now picked up by Oshie. In front, a drive. Backus the rebound. Can't get a stick on it. Karam's in front. And now Crombie knocks it away from the slot. And a turning McCulloch back to his partner Yandel. And that pass almost intercepted by Oshie. And this will be another icing call against Arizona. This month, the best drivers in the world will push themselves and their cars to the limits in the 55th running of the Great American Race. Be there as NASCAR drops the flag on another season and catch Legends' last ride as Jeff Gordon begins his final year behind the wheel. The Daytona 500 begins Sunday, February 22nd at noon Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Now it is Shinnimin toward the goal, and it's covered by Allen, who has not had a lot of work in the last 5 minutes. Gagne for the Coyotes. Steen replies to the Blues. Tied at 1 late first period.
Well, 610 NHL goals, 400 in the WHA. This was a surefire 1,000 NHL goal scorer if he would have stayed around and didn't have that contract impasse with the late Bill Wirtz of the Blackhawks. But leads us to our dirt cheap snapshot of the game. And recently in Saskatoon with the Kinsmen, Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, and Bobby Hull together in a very emotional gathering with both Mark and Marty as well. And the guy beside me right here in the obviously in between the benches, Kelly Chase did a phenomenal job of emceeing that event, raised tons of money. They renamed the arena the Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. It doesn't get any better than what happened for 3 days in Saskatchewan.
And is it great to see Gordie back in front of the public after some tough health news in the last year or so, but the man from Floro, Saskatchewan, Darren, he's a tough guy.
Well, I mean, when we were all kids, Floro, Saskatchewan, me being from Ontario, John, you being born in Ottawa, where I was raised as well, we wouldn't have known where that was. We'd have no idea. But because of, I remember thinking where Bobby Clarke was from, like Flin Flon. You think of where, Gordie Howe is from, or you think of Wayne Gretzky, Brantford, Ontario. They put the names of cities on the map just for the legendary status that they were. And I mean, when I get a chance, had a chance to sit and watch the game on Sunday, and Bobby and Brett there, and just listening to the way they analyze games, what goes through their minds during games is remarkable.
Well, what a collection of talent. Bobby Hull, Gordie Howe, and Wayne Gretzky.
And Mark and Marty, Yep.
Now it is Schwartz at the Blues bench. Check Vermette comes in. Here's Vermette 3-on-2 to Yandel. Backdoor feed to Doan, and that was broken up by the Blues after a dangerous looking rush there for Arizona. And then tipped in by Toby Reeder. And Pietrangelo curls out of the corner. Finds Tarasenko at center ice. One touch pass, but that's to the Coyotes. And Ekman-Larsson. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Played in the All-Star game representing the Coyotes.
Over to his partner, Zbynek McCulloch, a good solid defensive defenseman that's going to be a potential UFA. And I'm sure he's a player that a lot of teams are knocking on the door to. Don Maloney, their general manager, too, as the deadline approaches.
As Gagne yields into the blue zone for Marty Erad in the final minute now. Erad back of the goal, and he was checked there by Cole, who reverses to Jackman. And up the wing for Backus. Oshie had dropped his stick or lost it. Now Backus from center, testing Smith. And then to the corner, Steen in there to get the puck back for Oshie. Right in front. And a shot by Oshie. I believe he has somebody else's stick there. And Arizona the other way.
Yes, he does. He's got Alex Petrangelo's stick as his snap. He went to the bench and grabbed one.
At least it's the right shot.
That's right. Well, players know it, huh? The players are sharp on the bench, and we know that Joel Farnsworth, guy we call Bear, is very good and very quick at getting sticks. Same with Bert if he's at the area where the sticks are. But a lot of times the players recognize and they'll hand him one right away, and that's what happened.
Oh, a pass by Stastny picked off. Moss comes in, and a pad save by Allen. As Moss had a decent opportunity there, and that's the end of the first period. So a bit of a sluggish start for the Blues. They fell behind by 1, but tied the game by a nice goal from Alexander Steen and outshoot the Coyotes 16-9 in that opening period.
Well, there's some good puck composure with the puck, good positional play, and clearly coming off an emotional game on Sunday, I thought it was a good opening 20 minutes of play. Pat and Bernie, up to you.
All right, Darren Panks, thank you very much. See the Blues heading off to the dressing room. Welcome you inside the Fox box. Bernie, guys were just talking about a little sluggish start, but the Blues, as soon as they got down 1-0, really took this game over.
Yeah, there at one time were down 7-3 in the shots, and then they really got it going and ended up shooting the Coyotes 16-9. But you know what? These are games. I mean, the Blues have played an awful lot of hockey. I mean, they played 3 and 4 nights, or actually with the afternoon game on Sunday. So the day off yesterday, I think, did them good, but took them a little bit to get going, and I think they're going right now.
Yeah, they certainly are. When we continue here on Fox Sports Midwest, it's the GM Sapah Country intermission report, and you see some Ryan Reeves big hits, and the lone goal for the Blues scored by Alexander Steen. 1-1 after 1 period.
As the Blues wrap up a 2-game homestand after 1 period of play, the Blues and Coyotes are tied at 1. John Kelly upstairs. Darren Pang is down between the benches. And Darren, I thought the Blues' best line in that opening period was the Backes trio. They had 9 of the 16 shots on goal for St. Louis.
At even strength, they generated 4 scoring chances. Just that line of Steen, Backes, and Oshie. That's the most of any line on the ice for either team. And this one starts with a good hard shot there by Steen on the right side. They read the play here by Smith and were able to defend against that and create another good scoring chance by Oshie. That was late in the first period. This is the pass by Pietrangelo to Steen, to Backes, to Oshie. Oshie waits for a split second, goes to his backhand, and then Steen follows it up in a straight line, going right to the blue paint and makes it a 1-1 hockey game. So 3 shots for Steen, 2 for Backes, and 4 for TJ Oshie, and he was flying in that first period.
So the Blues and Coyotes set for the second. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Teams at full strength here. As it comes around in the area of Butler. Can't hold it in. Now Backes kicks it on to Oshie, who flips it in and goes after it against McCullough. Now back for Butler again. Brushed along by Steen, and then taken by Oshie. Gets some help from his center iceman Backes. Spins off the Ekman-Larsson check. Back for Steen. Now Pietrangelo to Butler, and he stick handles and then loses the puck off the blade of his stick. And tipped in by Shane Doan.
A tough break there for Butler, but even early in the year, Butler and Pietrangelo had some real good chemistry together. And they look strong here to begin this hockey game.
And now Smith wanders back of the goal for Yandel, tipped along by Erat. And then flown in from center ice by Gagne. Now Erat again on the boards to the back, and that's kept in by Stone. A drive and a pass save, and it almost came off the skates, I believe, of Korpikoski in front. And now Laterra, another fin. He gets the puck down the ice.
Yeah, getting the one-hand whack there by Marty Erat from behind.
And now Bouwmeester at the line. That's kept in by Tarasenko. Punch back of the goal for Schwartz. Centers it. Gagne has it. And now loses it, but there is Erat for Arizona. And he gets across center ice. And trickles it back of the Blues goal. And Laterra now for Carl Gunnarsson. And around to Berglund. Can't move it. To the front of the goal, McMillan. And he was entangled there with Gunnarsson, and McMillan goes down in the Blues cover.
Well, there's a lot of times you look at players that have that ability to wait and buy time. If we can stop it here, here's Oshie on that play that's the goal. So he's got to play. He's on his forehand still here. So the goaltender's got to respect that part. If he just makes him bite on it a little bit, he's got to hold his ground. If he makes him stretch out to the right, and that makes it a much more difficult save to make, just by holding on to it on the forehand just ever so slightly. And if the goaltender cheats, then he shoots. But Smith hung in there, made a good save, but was unable to control that rebound. But we've seen it time and time again, whether it's on shootouts or one-on-ones, just the patience that Oshie has with the puck on his stick.
This marks the 4th time this year that Smith has played in back-to-back games. Of course, the backup is the St. Louis and Mike McKenna. We were hoping to see the St. Louis boy tonight, but Dave Tippett goes with the veteran Mike Smith. And there's Mike.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mike, and recently recalled from the American Hockey League, and obviously there is that anticipation that maybe Mike would get a chance to play. I know that Terry, an off-ice official for a long time, and his grandfather for a long time, but Terry's not working this game. He gets to sit back and enjoy it.
Now Steen wins the face-off. Speaking of St. Louisans, Butler now for Oshie in front, Backus, and his shot was blocked. And now Chip Chura to center ice for Moss.
I think Mike McKenna's got a future too when he does decide to hang him up to get in the broadcast booth.
Here's a break, Steen, but the pass was just out of his reach. You think so, Darren?
I think he just took his eye off the puck there. That's not far enough from the blade. He'll look back at that one and want it back.
And now the Blues, a long stretch pass. Oshie had it, lost it. And then Doan gets it into the zone. Vermette, a pass across, and just behind Toby Reeder. And now the Blues the other way. Here's Oshie for Steen. Pulls up, and a shot, and a stick save by Smith. And it comes around to Backus. And then Backus mauled on the far side by McCulloch. And then thrown all the way down the ice, and Allen spins it around the boards. Now to Pietrangelo. Stretch pass for Ott. And the play is onside here. And then Gotcha hit in the corner.
Yeah, I thought it might have been an icing call, but they waved that off.
And now Yandel out of his own zone. Down the boards for Lesio. Lucas Lesio, a second-round pick in 2011. And he was checked there. Reeves with it. Can't clear it. Now Lesio again. Pinballs around in front and finally pushed along by Gunnarsson. And now Marcel Gotcha at center ice. On a delayed offside, the Blues clear the zone and play continues.
That's a close hit there by Lesio on Marcel Gotch. Numbers facing Lesio, and maybe he held up a little bit there that helped him out, but he did look around, John. He looked around at the officials immediately, seeing if he was going to get a minor call.
And now a loose puck gobbled up by Berglund. And here he comes. Berglund forced to a tough angle. Now in front. Oh, backdoor feed for Stastny. Blocked there at the last second by Campbell. Kept in by the Blues. Now Stastny back for Jackman. And Jackman shooting one. Rebound. Oh, it bounced over Berglund's stick. He had a wide open net. And Darren, he knew it. He looked to the heavens after the puck bounced over his stick. And now Berglund again. Against Shinnimin. Jackman wanders into the point. He'll tip it back to Yashkin. And then Jackman. That goes down low. Summers there, number 20. Stripped of the puck. Blues get it back. In front to Yashkin. And too closely checked.
Well, this line has been the best cycle line so far in this hockey game.
And now it goes
the boards nicely.
Yeah, they have very well. And now Berglund off the wall. And a shot and a pad save by a very deep Mike Smith there.
Oh, good save, though. Man, you could see that from my vantage point, and that was a tough one to read for Smith. Made a good save.
And then a hit by Yashkin.
But this all starts with Yashkin's original hit. And, Paul Stastny looks real comfortable with Yashkin and with Berglund.
Here's a stretch pass to Tarasenko for Schwartz. And a shot blocked by Yandel at the defense on a 3-on-2. And Gagne the other way now for McMillan.
Maybe if he fires that right away, Yandel wouldn't be able to get there. But he had to kind of settle that thing down a little bit, and Yandel was able to get in spot.
And now a pass to center ice. Laterra. He controls it now for Schwartz. Bounces to the corner for Tarasenko. And then Pietrangelo moves in for the point. And Smith to play it back of the goal. And leaves it for Erat, who defers to Yandel. 6 minutes gone here in the second. 1-1 the score. And it goes to Pietrangelo. And now for Butler. Into Steen. Gets by a man. Now Steen in front for Oshie, but a good back check there to break it up. And then Butler at the line to hold it in.
Penalty coming up.
As Allen goes off for the extra man. And now the Coyotes touch it. And we will get our first minor of the night in this 1-1 game.
Well, too many men on the ice as you See a good look there at the Blues bench. And the top of your screen, you're going to see one player go off. Two come on. Usually that's a problem in the game of hockey unless you pull your goalies. We stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hockey players for an extended period of time.
Not including the goaltender. That means a bench minor. It is being served by the rookie Shinnimin, and the Blues power play goes to work for the first time. And they have killed the Coyotes this year. 7 for 9 in 2 games.
And that's respect. The player in the penalty box stands up and applauds our serviceman of the night.
And a drive by Steen goes wide, and then fired around by Campbell, and all the way down the ice. The Blues power play 24%, second best. Arizona on the kill, 78.1%. That's third worst. And Pietrangelo all the way around the boards now for the captain. Backes leads the club with 9 power play goals. Now Backes again. Flipped up high, kept in by Steen. Good hold in there.
Yep.
And then Stastny back for Steen. And he walks the line. Finds Stastny. And a little pass off Oshie's stick. And then to the corner now Pietrangelo. And a diving play there by Vermette to punch it down the ice.
The key to the power play, Arizona's a good shot blocking team. So the thought process for the Blues is don't shoot the puck as much. Keep it more like you would play 5-on-5 in the offensive zone. And so they've capitalized on the quality chances that they've had. It's not because they're firing a whole bunch of pucks at the net of Arizona.
Yeah, that was Hitch's answer when we asked him about the power play. He said, we don't shoot the puck. And it sounds ironic, but they're 7 for 9 moving it around the shot-blocking Coyotes.
Yeah, they make them count.
And again, it's thrown down the ice, 35 to go in the bench minor.
And from a goalie's perspective, that's more difficult. I mean, many goalies will tell you that the more shots, the merrier. You get in there, and some of them, just because they're firing puck, doesn't mean they're high-quality shots.
And now it's flipped high by Schwartz, and that goes out of play, and I believe they'll move the face-off to center ice.
Well, there's no question that when Doug Armstrong knocked on the door of Kirk Muller, the former head coach at Carolina, an assistant coach with Montreal that had that unbelievable run in 2010. John, he was even the head coach at Queen's University, one of the great institutions in Canada, to get some experience. Milwaukee as well for a couple of months of the American Hockey League.
The man who scored the cup-winning goal for the Canadiens back in '93.
He knows what he's talking about, and the players listen when he's talking about a change in the power play, that's for sure.
And now the Blues commit Oshie a pass, and that's tipped away. And Shinnimin is back, so we are back at full strength. Stretch run packs are going fast, but you still have a chance to grab packs for as few as 7 games and for as low as $26 per game. You also guarantee yourself playoff purchasing priority for this year's playoffs. Ticket reps are taking phone orders through the second intermission tonight at 314-622-BLUE. And the faceoff is won by Stastny. Worked down low by Cole. And now Bergman in there to muck things up, and it trickles by Cole on the right point. And look out here. McMillan against Cole, and McMillan may have taken a foul there, a hooking penalty, as he bothered Ian Cole.
You are correct about that, right in front of the Arizona bench.
Phoenix, number 22. 2 minutes for hooking.
So Shinnimin just comes out of the penalty box. Too many men on the ice. And there's the stick infraction there, right up around the hands and corkscrewing Ian Cole as Cole's trying to handle the puck.
Anytime you get the stick blade on the hands, Darren, it's almost a guaranteed minor.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's just, a lateral push to the hands, it's not necessarily a hook. But if you get it up there and you turn your blade around and you're trying to get that blade inside the elbows or inside the hands. In the old days, that was fine. That was one of those good, discreet, veteran kind of plays that they used to call it. But obviously, now when it unsettles the puck and you know that stick is that firmly entrenched in the hands, it's going to be called.
The Blues did not get a shot on their first power play. Smith loves to handle it. Throws it high to center, glove down by Gunnarsson.
He was looking for Doan there, wasn't he? Right in the middle of the ice.
And now Tarasenko with 28 goals on the year, 4th best in the league. Blues dump it in.
And 23 of those goals at even strength, which is an incredibly high number.
And has 4 in his last 5 games. Already 40 gone to the power play. Now to center ice, Oshie for Stastny up the middle to Backes. And his pass back, broken up, but kept in by Steen. Now Steen to wide open Pietrangelo. He comes in and a shot and a glove save by Smith on Pietrangelo.
Yeah, good play there by Steen on the left boards. And I think, as we talked about Kirk Muller, you know, the adjustments made without Steen and Shattenkirk on the back end, and it takes some time, and it takes some confidence as well. Steen there moves it over crisply over there to big Alex Pietrangelo, and Pietrangelo with that puck rolling, that's a knuckle puck right there, and that's a good save by the goaltender. You've got to have good hands to read that coming off the stick.
Blues win it again, Pietrangelo for Oshie. Angles near the line, Pietrangelo, a shot, rebound, Backes. Bouwmeester, another shot, goes just wide of the goal.
What a battle in front of the net.
Maybe Stastny on that second opportunity. Blues get it back again. Pietrangelo, plenty of time for Oshie. To Stastny, a shot, and that's tipped off the glove of Mike Smith. That was a set play. Now Stastny back for Oshie. And he's got some room again. Stastny looks around. Oshie winds and fires it, and a save by Smith with Backes in front. Well, they're leaving those point men wide open here. Now Pietrangelo a drive, and that's blocked in front. Kept in by Oshie, and a shot. That's blocked by Reeder, and it goes out of play.
That's too bad for Oshie, because that was a heck of a keep-in by a terrific athlete in TJ Oshie. Here was that slap pass in the high slot, the Sedin twin-like redirection, and it's a great save there by Mike Smith. Backhand pass by Oshie right on the tape to Pietrangelo. Shot, rebound, save. Backes is there, Stastny's there. Chipchura actually drills him from behind, and in trying to protect the goaltender, so Stastny pays the price, but Mike Smith, the difference here in this second period. 23-9 are the shots on goal.
7-0 in this second period in favor of the Blues. Now 17 to go in the power play. Laterra wins the faceoff. Tarasenko brushes one back to Gunnarsson. Tarasenko check. Laterra follows up. Now back for Gunnarsson. Short pass off the wall to Tarasenko. Now Bouwmeester, and a shot up high, and that is gloved by Smith.
Well, I love this passing in tight. We talked about that in the open, how Laterra supports the puck so well. And here in a small area of the ice, there's Tarasenko and Laterra. The confidence to make that pass. Then the confidence to make the pass right back to Gunnarsson. And in about a 5-foot area, they make 4 passes before the long shot from Bouwmeester.
And here's the Finn Laterra. His dad watches every game back home in Finland live. He goes to bed at 9 at night, wakes up at 3, and watches every Blues game.
Well, hello, Mr. Laterra.
And right off the face-off, the puck is covered in the corner. And the Blues are now 0 for 2 in the power play. Midway through the second, it's 1-1 here in St. Louis.
Well, Hitch, I'm sure there was a little concern in coming back after a game, a highly emotional game against the Chicago Blackhawks. How do you think your squad's faring?
Well, we're playing really well. We just, you know, it's 1-1. We're doing a lot of the things that we want to do. We just got to stay with it.
As far as the power play is concerned, I know there's adjustments whenever a guy like Shattenkirk's not there, but that last one looked like the best of the bunch that you've had in a little while.
Yeah, we got better puck movement, more composure, and we're finding seams now. Hopefully we can keep building on it.
Thanks, Hitch.
Okay.
Of course, the Blues had that team record run of points in 13 straight. Since then, they've lost 2 straight. But Darren, one thing Hitch mentioned to us before the game, he said it's tough to get back up and running after such a good stretch. And the Blues would love to snap this 2-game losing streak. Around the net, Yashkin, a wraparound chance and a save by Smith. Boy, Yashkin was really good tonight again.
Yep, and I thought he started that way against Chicago. I thought he gave him a lot of good control on the boards. Finished his checks, played a good game.
And a shot from a tough angle by Gagne. He has scored for Arizona. Steen for the Blues. Now at the line, Yashkin tips it away, and he's off to the races with Berglund. Yashkin cuts in, and a backhander. He scores! What a play by Yashkin!
Good second effort there by Yashkin. The big left-hand shot. Not often you you score on the rush. Odd man break on the backhand, but Yashkin does so. Left side of your screen there. Yandel goes to pinch, but the long stick and reach there of Yashkin keeps that puck alive. It's a 2-on-2, but he's got an edge on the Arizona Coyote player right there, Korpikoski. And this is one of those ones where the goaltender, Mike Smith, just couldn't squeeze that elbow tight to the side of the body. Always more difficult to read a backhand shot.
And now a hard shot by Lessie wide of the Blues goal. So Yashkin gets his 7th of the year, and the Blues lead for the first time.
Yeah, and you know, for Keith Yandel, he thinks he's got support because Korpikoski's there, but Korpikoski's just not close enough to it.
Oh, Smith almost caught behind the goal there. And now Cole, hounded from behind, gets up though and breaks it up. And Gunnarsson gets the lone assist on that goal by Yashkin. And he has scored 3 goals in his last 6 games. But Darren, that's one that I would think Mike Smith would like to have back.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And again, it's hard to read it. See, he brings it on the middle of his blade. He gets a lot on this. And you can see the way Smith was drifting over to the short side post a little bit right there. See his left pad ends outside the post. And on that kind of play, though, as I mentioned, you're wondering, is he going to get a lot on this? Is he... You know, he's going to be able to elevate it, you know, and especially when you've got a book on shooters, I'm sure Mike Smith doesn't know a whole lot about Dmitry Yashkin.
He got his block on it, but not enough. Shots are 10-0 here in the second, and the Blues lead 2-1. Goals from Steen and Yashkin. Now Ekman Larsson, and he is forced to the wall by Steve Ott. Good forecheck there. And now McCulloch can pass. Off of Oshie into the zone, shot by Butler. And now Reeder there, but he can't move it in front. Backus has it, not out of the zone. Reeder with it. To Vermette shot, and that's well wide, maybe off the Blues player. And now Backus down low to help out. And he slides it to center ice. Drilled back in by Stone. Tipped by Oshie, and that comes to center ice. And now Stone again. And the hard around, tipped by Erat back of the Blues goal. And now Pietrangelo under some fire back there. Playing around, Oshie against Yandel.
Another good pitch by Yandel. He's going.
Yeah, he was burned once, but he'll try again. Now Yandel gets it. Deep swat, Korpikoski blocked by Oshie. What a play! And he's away to the races here. For Steen, in a goal shot! And it comes in front of Steen at the last second. I believe somebody held the stick a little bit.
Pass by Oshie. I mean, that from ice level, that is all world all the way.
And now Tarasenko, he gets by a man, and a drive, and he fired that one wide, and kept in by Gunnarsson. And now Schwartz for Tarasenko to Laterra, in front, saved by Smith, and he flashes the mid, and says, look what I've got.
That's a quick leather mitt right there by Mike Smith. Holy jumping, thanks for coming. What a save that is. Oh, you see the shot here by Korpikoski on one knee. There's TJ Oshie, and he explodes out of it. He waits and waits and waits and just feathers that little pass right on the tape. And it's a nice play by Stone right from behind. Steen probably doesn't see he's there, and then he gets it right on the hand, on the high hand right there.
And off the face-off, Schwartz. Recovered back of the goal by Campbell. And Summers worked over by Laterra. Boy, the Blues have spent a good portion of the second period in the Arizona end of the ice. And Cole racing over, can't hold it in. And off the boards and out, now moved in by Chipchura. He drops it off. McMillan shot. And a pad save there by Allen. That's his first save of the second period. And a pretty good chance through a screen. And now Cole's involved in front.
Well, he's got a chance here. Chipchura shoving away right there. And this all started with Cole making a little bank pass off the boards to an Arizona Coyote player right in the neutral zone. And that's why there was a little pressure on Jake Allen as Yashkin celebrates the go-ahead goal. Well, there's the former St. Louis Blue, number 9. The very amiable and affable and feisty Tyson Nash, who does the color commentary for Fox Sports Arizona, and I can't believe that he did this. Oh, he jumped it! Right out of the plane! And his nose didn't even get in the way. Oh, that is something else right there.
Well, he was a fearless player.
Oh, was he ever?
You could give me $1 million and you wouldn't see me jumping from a plane.
That is great stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Love it. I can't believe I gave him a shot about the nose, because you know I'm going to get it about being short or bald or my goals against average, but it's always fun with Tyson Nash and what he brings to the table. He's really, really done a great job. When I was in Arizona, he was doing the radio and just starting out, and very respectful of everybody in their jobs and respectful of the guys that have been around a long time, and he's done an outstanding job.
Yeah, Darren, I know we had a nice feature on him in the pregame show, and he truly was, it always will be, a fan favorite here in St. Louis.
A big part of what a trip that St. Louis Blues alumni and honoring the great late and all their friends, Pavel Demitra, and going to Slovakia. And obviously we're going to have that debut of that movie here in St. Louis that Blues fans, you cannot miss. The Pavel Demitra story. Even Bernie Federko, the Hall of Famer, got on the ice to show his respects. He doesn't get on the blades very often.
Not too often anymore for number 24. 5 minutes left here, second period. Blues leading 2-1. Here's Oshie back to get it. And held in by Crombie. It comes around now, grabbed by Chris Butler.
And tickets for that, as they would be, $38 in honoring the number of Pavel Demitra.
Of course, Oshie it now for Steen. Winds up, fires it, rebound. Oh, Backus is robbed by Smith on a bang play right near the Arizona net.
Yeah, just kind of right back in towards the body, but you want your classic pass-off pad. This is what we've seen so often, and especially from this line. Oshie then with center lane drive, the shot off the pad. Backus is on the weak side, and Backus will obviously look back at that and think, put it right back into his body, but it was a hot rebound to handle.
And he was handcuffed just a bit, Darren.
Just a bit, yeah, you're exactly right. And especially a long guy, got big, long kid to be able to handle that kind of rebound, but well-executed play all the way around.
Now the puck back at the blue line. Ekman Larsson across McCulloch. Wrist shot. Schwartz got right in the shooting lane, and here come the Blues the other way, 2-on-2.
Oh, he had a broken stick after blocking that shot.
And now Vermette gets it. Yeah, $200 stick just goes snap just like that on a 2-on-2. And now Schwartz with a new blade. Down low with Laterra. Jackman wanders in. And now Vermette there for Arizona. And the former Senator and Blue Jacket plays it back of the goal for Ekman Larsson. With under 4 to play in the second period. Shots 12-1 in this period for the Blues. Now Jackman to a wide open Ott. He steps in. No shot is there. Now he delays a bit. Hooks it back to Jackman. Now Jackman, a quick shot by Notch and a save by Smith.
Boy, Smith's been good. As good as I've seen him.
And then Jackman, a pass was picked off. And Korpikoski to the corner now for Gagne. And around back of the goal. 2 players miss it. Jackman comes over. And now for Ott, look out. And he was smothered. The puck in front. Gagne in a shot that flips toward the goal. Blocked by Cole. Nice stick handle maneuver to center. And played off the board by Gotch. Arizona gets it right back in. McMillan with it. Drop pass for Erat to McMillan. In too tight. Couldn't get a shot. And now 2 players around Jackman. And Ian Cole there for the Blues. And Cole getting knocked down, but gets it out for Gotch. And then to Ott. And then Reeves a good stick there to block a pass. And then Gotch will dump it in behind the Coyote goal. On pass to center by Campbell. Loss at the line. Instant traffic there. The Blues take over. And feed it up the wing to Steen. Steen across. Here's Oshie. Tabakis off his skate. And just wide of the goal. Boy, do these 3 have it going tonight.
Their passing has been absolutely phenomenal.
And using...
Well, they look fresh. They obviously the whole group, I think a little out of gas in that game against Chicago. You can tell by the execution and the passing when you're looking, especially at the top line, especially a guy like Steen. When he's sharp, he's passing that puck just like he's been passing it tonight.
And they're using the entire width of the ice. Well, missing Cardinal baseball tomorrow night. Fox Sports Midwest brings you Cardinals Roundtable. We sit down with members of the 2006 World Series team, Cardinals legends, tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. And there's a Cardinal fan, and Darren, before you know it, pitchers and catchers will report to Jupiter. Ekman Larson a drive and a pad save by Allen. And now Pietrangelo with 2 minutes left here in the period. To a streaking Chris Butler. He can't make a play around McCulloch. And it's lobbed to center ice. Good job by Stastny back to get it. Now he gets it into the zone. And then back of the goal for Yashkin. And then Berglund helps out. But Vermette there for Arizona. And on to the 38-year-old Shane Doan. And he twists one around behind the Blues goal.
And against the Blues, Shane Doan has been real good. 72 games played, 31 goals.
Now Yashkin going wide. And pulling up to make a play. Instead on the cycle now to Berglund. Berglund trying to get free here. In the slot to Yashkin. Stastny back to Yashkin again.
Trying to get away from Shinneman.
And the rookie Shinneman a good job, and now he gets it by Gunnarsson.
Keep thinking of Neil Young, Shinneman Girl. One of my favorite songs.
Of course you would think of that. Now the Blues have some room at center ice. Laterra for Tarasenko, and a drive, and that's off Smith and off the netting. What did that hit?
That nibbled his glove?
I'm not sure.
His hands have been good. Free and loose, seeing the puck coming into him. This is a confident goaltender, unlike what the Blues saw earlier in the year. And yet, it hit the bar. Hit the bar. I thought it nibbled off the end of his webbing. Here's the passing here by Steen. Cross ice, right to Oshie. Oshie settles it down, and he's trying to feed it, but it rolled on him. Maybe in that situation, he can just fire that puck hard because they're playing with such confidence, and Backes is already driving to the net.
And a shot by Bouwmeester. Schwartz the rebound, another shot, and another save by Smith. This one was left pad. And 45 to go in the period.
And you can expect Arizona, to have tired legs here. And this is where the Blues have got to really take advantage with Arizona playing last night in that hard game. Goes to a shootout in Chicago.
And now it is Gagne. He has scored the Arizona goal. Erat back of the Blues goal. Not pressured now. Erat in front. Good stick there by Bouwmeester. And the puck at the line and off a stick to center ice. And then wanted back in by Summers. Gunnarsson with some time as the Coyotes going on change. Tipped by Tarasenko. Played by Ekman Larson. This goes all the way down. It should be an icing call. It is, with 5 seconds left in the second period.
Still certainly enough time to win the face-off, as we saw in the game against Tampa in a 1-0 deficit with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Face-off win by Stastny, and Tarasenko fired it. Took about 1.5 seconds for that to take place. Loads of time here for a good chance on net.
And Steen will take it against Chip Chura. To the front of the goal, but there's Ekman Larson, and that will do it. The end of the second period. Blues outshoot the Coyotes 15-3 and score the lone goal from Yashkin. Let's go to Pat and Bernie.
All right, John and Darren, thank you very much. The Blues get the lone goal in that second period. And Bernie, that was a period of total domination by the Blues.
Well, you talked about it, Pat, that the Blues really started getting their legs halfway through that first period. Well, they continued it.
Yep.
And really, when you look at Arizona, they're the tired team. They played last night in Chicago, so good 2 periods so far, but only 1 goal lead.
That's the problem. Only 1 goal lead, but the third period still ahead for the Blues. And Dmitry Yashkin with a terrific period. David Backes as well. That first line was dominant. 2-1, the Blues lead it. Jack in the Box intermission report is next.
The shots in that second, 14-4 for the Blues. The only goal in the second by Yashkin. And the Blues skate onto the third period with a 2-1 lead over the Coyotes. John Kelly upstairs and Darren Pang, as usual, down between the benches. And the Blues over 30 shots through 2, Darren. They've been led by Steen's 5 shots. That line has been superb tonight.
Well, they have. Now they're up to 7 even strength scoring chances. They've been zipping the puck around, utilizing all aspects of the ice, going board to board, center lane drive, going hard to the net. And that's how Steen scored that one goal, obviously. So when you look at the top line, the way that they're firing the puck from all angles, they're obviously playing with a lot of precision, moving the puck around like men. And in our Jim Butler Chevrolet.com powerhouse plays, there is a bunch of them right there. I think TJ Oshie's game has been real strong as well, and I know one person that's going to be happy about that is his auntie Pam Oshie Baudry is watching the game in Everett tonight. So good playing here by Oshie. He's been making plays, getting around the ice. And when you look at this evening's performance by this line, 5 shots and a goal from Alexander Steen, and an assist and 4 shots for the captain. And TJ Oshie with an assist, 4 shots. He's blocked a number of scoring chances as well. Played a real good all-round game. And I'll say this about Oshie too, all-round person. He found out today that there's a little boy named Joe who's in Connecticut battling some serious health issues. Biggest fan in the world of TJ Oshie and the St. Louis Blues. The boy from Connecticut. Guess who picked up the phone and called just to give him a little spirit, a little help? TJ Oshie.
Great stuff. And best to you, Joe, and hopefully the Blues can win for you tonight. The Blues 21-2 and leading after 2. The Coyotes 2-20-1 when trailing. Underway in the 3rd period. Teams are at full strength. And Pietrangelo now for Butler. The Blues mixed up the defensive pairs tonight. And so far, so good as Backes wanders in. Drops it off for Oshie to the net. And it was knocked away by McCulloch. And then a hit back of the goal by Oshie.
Oh, Oshie braced himself for that reverse hit. And he caught McCulloch off guard there. McCulloch thought he was going to give him a little bit of a run shoulder to shoulder. And instead, it was McCulloch that ends up going down. Good stamina, second effort there. And I think with the tough schedule that the Blues had in playing an 11:30 game, even with all the emotion and all the passion of that game, they just didn't have the zip in that 3rd period, outshot by the Hawks. But here's the tail end of it. Oh, and Backes went down awkwardly, boy, at the very end. I didn't see that at first. I was more concerned with the Oshie play. But watch Backes go down here. So Backes is turning around protecting, but watch the way he goes down in that pile. Ooh, kind of in a vulnerable spot there.
But he skates off. And appears to be fine. And Laterra steps in. Oh. The Blues have had 30 of the last 38 shots on goal in this game. Quick face-off and a shot by Tarasenko was wide. And now Yandel gets it away from Schwartz. Tarasenko follows up. Oh, and holds it in now to Laterra. To the net, and that's swept away by Smith. And Tarasenko back of the goal. Works on Sam Gagner. Tarasenko trying to center one. Chops Yandel down. The Blues have not taken a minor tonight. Tarasenko to the back for Bouwmeester. And then push back of the goal. Fired around by Smith. And a good hold in by Gunnarsson. And now Schwartz trying to shake free. Gunnarsson is wide open. Now Gunnarsson a shot. And that was blocked in front by Yandel. And on to center ice to Erat, who drops it in behind the Blues goal.
Gunnarsson was telling me today that he's played in a lot of games that involving rivalries. Of course, he played with the Toronto Maple Leafs and Toronto, Boston, Toronto, Montreal, great rivalries. But he said, boy, this Chicago-St. Louis Blues rivalry is something else.
And you would think you'll get a lot more of that rivalry as time marches on. You never know, maybe again in the playoffs. And of course, they still have 2 more games in the regular season. Now Chipchura into the zone. And a back check by Berglund to break it up. And now for the longest tenured Blue, Barrett Jackman. And Stastny ahead for Yashkin. And they signal icing, but Yashkin beats McCulloch to the puck. And the play continues. Yashkin has it pinned against the end boards. It is pried free by Chipchura. And nowhere to go with it. And now around to Crombie. And he sails it high over the head of Cole. And this will be an icing. And we get a face-off back at the other end. Well, the biggest NHL Mardi Gras celebration is all month long here at Scottrade. Come party with the Blues every home game this month. Local bands will perform pre-game and throughout the game. Special Mardi Gras themed menus, prize giveaways for sharing your fun, And tickets start at $29, and all-you-can-eat seats start at $39. Buy your tickets at stlouisblues.com/Mardi Gras. And Smith goes for a skate back of the goal now for McCullough. Butler trying to pinch in, can't. And a race Pietrangelo against Shinnimin. Shinnimin steals it. And now the rookie with it. And that's tipped away with a good stick by Ott, and it goes about 3 rows in behind the Blues bench.
Poor young lady there with a fella beside her. She just nearly had a heart attack with that puck coming over there. It's over her right shoulder, and boy, if you're at a game, any hockey game, any place, anywhere, keep your eye on the puck. That nearly decapitated 2 young Blues fans. Oh.
Everybody appears to be all right back there. And Steen against Vermette. Face-off just about dead even after 2. Blues control the face-off. And here's a 4-on-2 led by Oshie. Oshie a pass across for Backes. And he tried to go back in front, but some back check, he knocked it away. And now Vermette into the zone. And a drive up high by Doan, and a save by Allen on an odd man rush for Arizona.
That Doan maybe doesn't get that up as high as he wants to get that up, but you see on the left side of your screen, let this one roll, fellas. Face off here by Steen, you can see, but keep your eye on 27 in the blue. Now he acts as a forward right here. And you see he's going to go right up the middle of the ice. You got a 4-on-3. Steen holds a little bit of interference there, trying to get that pass into a more clear lane, but good job by Pietrangelo just driving hard to the middle of the crease.
And this is dropped unfairly as Laterra was in there against Sam Gagner. Laterra back after missing 6 games with a concussion. He said all he could do was watch movies every day, and he was bored while the Blues were on the road, according to Laterra.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But and then the one area where you would expect a little rust has been on the face-off dots, where he's so dependable. It's been a bit of a struggle in that area in this first game back.
Yeah, 36% after 2 for Laterra. Now it's Schwartz working on Gagner. Shakes free back of the goal. And now Schwartz again back of the cage. Erat steps back for the Coyotes. And now the net, I believe, has been knocked off its moorings.
Yes, Summers, the former first-round draft pick, 29th overall, he knocked that off its moorings. But here's the 2-on-1 break right after that situation that the Blues had. And you see from a distance, Shane Doan's firing this puck. But in hindsight, the play there, if you're not going to fire that one, you know, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but to score, you've got a guy driving hard to the net. Anything around the pads is going to be a really juicy rebound right there. I don't think that's where Doan wanted to shoot that puck.
Now off the face-off. Yash going to wrap around it. A shot blocked. And grabbed by McMillan to center ice. And then dumped in by Chipchura wide of the Blues goal. And then Jack from the first Blue back. Hit there by Chipchura.
Yeah, good support there by Dmitry Yashkin, though. Coming back to help out, knowing that Jackman was basically on a 1-on-2 there.
And now Cole to Stastny to center ice. Tipped along by Bergman. And then McCullough around to his partner. Now for Ekman Larsson. And he drifts into the Blue zone. From the angle, a shot up high. And Allen stood tall to make the save. Chipchura back of the goal. In front. And chopped away by Stastny, and just in the nick of time. Snapped around by Yandel. There's a broken stick right in front of the Blues goal. And now Steen to center for Backes. And that's a pretty good shot from about 100 feet away by Backes. No icy.
Working on his empty net goals right there.
I guess so.
That was only center cut.
And now Yandel for Tobias Reeder. And that gets by Pietrangelo. Butler turning. And around on the wall for Backes. Gets some good support there from Steen. And now to center. Oh, off Oshie's stick. He would have had a 1-on-1. And then the Boston native Yandel to the corner for Stone. Arizona's had the only 2 shots on goal in this third period. And Lesio drifts ahead for Arizona. And he goes wide. Then back of the goal by Butler. And now Erat back there to Look for the loose puck. Comes in front. Now McCulloch with it. And across for Ekman Larsson, a shot. And that was nowhere near the goal. Looking for some kind of tip, but it was 3 feet high. And now a race for the puck. Reeves, but McCulloch handles him. And off the boards and by Gotch to center ice. Now Bouwmeester. Look out, Reeves put from behind. And a good hit there by Shinnimin. And then moved in deep by Lesio.
Shinnimin can scoop Kenny. He's the biggest guy, but boy, he's a real powerful skater. Low to the ice.
He had 134 points in Tri-City of the Western League a few years ago. Canadian Junior Player of the League. And that's offside as McMillan argues, but the puck did come to center ice and then played back in offside. 13:43 to go in the third, and the Blues lead 2-1.
Here's a Bomarito Automotive Group Sports Update. The West's leading Predators tonight hosting the Lightning. Nashville with a pair of goals midway through the second. Seth Jones and Taylor Beck make it 2-zip. Prez, although Tampa has just cut it to 2-1 now early in the third period. No Ben Bishop for the Lightning tonight. We assume he'll be in net Thursday when Tampa hosts the St. Louis Blues. John and Darren, back to you.
All right, Pat, entering play the Predators with a 4-point lead over the Blues in the Central Division.
And speaking of Tampa Bay goaltenders, congratulations to Evgeny Nabokov, one of the real good guys in this game, and traded for future considerations by Tampa Bay to San Jose, the team that he started his career with. And he will have his retirement tomorrow.
One of the best Russian goalies ever to play in the NHL. Now Laterra. And then moved along by Cole. 3-on-2 here. Cole to the net for Schwartz. And he can't get a shot through Stone. And then Chipchura will fire it off the boards to center ice. Now Cole for Schwartz. Turns and dumps it in deep, and he goes off on a change. And it's Jandl back to get it. His pass hits the skates of Steen. And he races in front for Oshie. Boy, just off his stick, but there's Gunnarsson.
That was one of those plays in the old days. That was a suicide pass that Oliver Ekman-Larsson could have, really laid into Oshie there. Can't tell me that the fines and new rules and regulations of the game haven't had an effect.
And Bouwmeester in the corner, puck to the line. And that's kept in there by Ekman-Larsson. Spun off the check by Backes. And now Backes in with Steen. But Arizona gets back to break it up. Now to the corner for Berglund. He cuts to the net. Rebound and shot. Steen missed a wide open top corner. What a chance there. And then Butler throws it back to the goal. Steen a little reverse hit there on Vermette. And then along to Butler. What a play by Berglund in that last sequence near the goal.
Good communication there on the ice from Pietrangelo. Butler was going to pass it across. Pietrangelo said no because Shane Doan was poaching. Looking to pick that off, and he'd be in all alone.
There's Butler back quickly now to Pietrangelo. And then Yashkin. Nice power move to center ice. Moved along by Stastny. Yashkin trying to hunt it down back of the goal. And he centers it. It's under the right arm, I believe, of Smith. And we get a whistle.
It was right under his blocker hand there. It's always awkward trying to cover those up unless you let go of your stick. But here's the poke check there on Berglund. Steen's right there on the doorstep, and he just fires that. Just missed on the short side. I think Patrick Berglund looks a lot more comfortable on the wing. And obviously recovering from that upper body injury, going right to the wing would have been tough because you're along the boards a lot. And you're probably likely returning from that kind of injury. You play tentatively. So he starts out in the middle of the ice, and now with Laterra coming back, he's on the wing, a lot stronger with that injury, and looks pretty good on the wing.
Yeah, I think this line has been good for the most part when they've been together. And now Gunnarsson in the corner. Puck comes in front. On the line in a long shot and a stick save by Allen on Summers. And now back the other way for Andrew Campbell. All he can do is play it back to the goal. Gunnarsson does not have his stick. It is broken. Now Erad in front. Campbell wide open, a shot. And a save there by Allen. And now Gunnarsson grabs the stick of Steve Ott. You'd rather have a forward than a stick than a defenseman. And what a hit there by Reeves on Summers. And the puck grabbed on the wing. Dodge with it and a second chance to clear it. And now finally forced out of there by Ott. Rickman Larson back into Gagne. Trying to get to the middle and a shot at and a save there by Allen. He fought that one off with his arm.
Did he ever? Good save. Another little hesitation move by Gagne, the only player to beat Allen in this game.
And now Laterra sneaking down the boards. Schwartz back of the goal. Can't make a play. Ian Cole activates from the right point. And back to the cage now. McCulloch getting the puck for Arizona. Past the 10-minute mark of this third period. Crombeen back to the Blues goal. And Crombeen is forced wide by Jackman.
And Yandel just came in on a line chain. You got to keep your eye on number 3 in the Whiteys over there on the left side.
And then Cole a hit on Shinnimin, no penalty. And the Blues get the puck out of the zone for Schwartz. And a bouncer and a tricky one there for Smith. Shots 5-0 for Arizona here in the third period. The Blues leading 2-1, goals from Steen and Yashkin.
What a move.
Here's Oshie coming in front to Steen, wide open, Smith got over and made a big-time save on Steen.
Another unbelievable play there by Oshie. Unbelievable play and making that pass over his stick right on the tape again.
And now Yandel to center ice. Off Reeder's stick. And then Doan lost it. Steen funnels it up the middle now for the captain. And he launches it over the head of Campbell. Played around by Smith. And now Summers for Chipchura. On stretch pass. And that goes down the ice. Moss back of the Blues goal. Here's Moss against his former teammate Bomeister. They played together in Calgary. And now the Blues come up with it. And Berglund off the boards and out. And then drilled right back in there. Bomeister around that broken stick to center ice for Berglund, who has some speed here. Berglund a shot, and a big rebound popped up by Smith. And it's punched back to center ice.
I like that decision by Berglund right there, going down the wing. A lot of times he'll pull up and look for the late man, but fire that puck right there. Got a 1-goal lead. You got a man driving to the net.
And now Berglund for Yashkin. Thrown to the back for Gunnarsson. Wrist shot. Hit by Stastny in the deep slot. Now Stastny gets it. And it rolls off his blade. But taken by Yashkin. What a move in front. A little move to himself.
Yeah, a little
chip play.
Kind of a reverse toe drag there, the back of his blade.
Now Berglund. Backdoor feed to Stastny. And Smith, I believe, just tipped it at the last second. And the Coyotes race the other way. Up the middle. Lesio made a couple of fancy moves there, but couldn't get a shot. And now Yandel kicks the puck into the Blues zone with 7:20 left here in the third period. And the Blues holding a 1-goal lead. And Jori Laterra. Nice play to center ice for Tarasenko. And he goes wide on Yandel. Cut down. And now to Butler, a shot. Handled by Smith, comes in front again. Now Schwartz for Laterra to Butler. And a shot right on goal. And a save there by Smith. Couple of good chances there. Under 7 to go in the third period.
Shots on goal are 34-18 as we take a look at our BJC Healthcare Difference Makers. Season leaders as the Blues and Ken Hitchcock sit there at 25-2. Incredibly impressive. Nashville and Tampa Bay that the Blues will see on Thursday. And here's TJ Oshie exploding out of the near standstill. And while he's going down on one knee, makes the pass. Steen has to corral it with his right skate to his left. And he just leaned over during the commercial break, and that's one of those plays, because he had to get that from his skate to his stick, that allowed the goaltender to get there. And I thought Mike Smith made a real good save right there. Weren't too many options for Steen to put that puck.
Yeah, that was a great blocker save. Shots 34-18 for the Blues, who lead 2-1. But now Toby Reeder comes in. Reeder, right in, a shot, and a save by Allen with his glove.
See what Doan did with Steen? Just gave him enough of a nudge to get on the inside and caught Steen off guard right there.
What a chance there for Reeder. Now Doan again. That's blocked by Bomeister. And they go to the inboards. Loose puck comes to Pietrangelo. Tarasenko behind the pack. Trying to get it to him, but that is taken by the Coyotes. And Gagne into the zone. Here's Lucia. He pulls up. Pass in front. And now Gagne turning with it. Gagne back on the line to Stone, a drive. And a save by Allen. Where is it? He has it under his pad and a whistle.
Yeah, good. Stone can really fire the puck. Played junior hockey for the former St. Louis Blue Dave Lowry. Had 20 goals in Major Junior A in the West one year. But when you look at a veteran play coming into the net, you can see right here, Shane Doan gives Alexander Steen in the middle ice just a little bit of a reverse shoulder, and that allows him a little bit of space to get there as Reeder lets this one rip going high because the defenseman Butler's going down low. And that's a good save there by Jake Allen. He thought he had that in the mid, I think.
Just a nice little subtle pick there by Doan.
Smart, huh?
Yeah, very smart. And now Stastny down low for the Blues. Up the middle, tipped out of midair by Yashkin, has been very impressive tonight. Now Yashkin pulling up. And a shot off a stick wide. Comes around to Bouwmeester, takes the hit, gets it in deep now for Stastny. And a Coyote player loses his stick. See if the Blues can capitalize. Back to Bouwmeester. Punches one back of the goal. Yashkin. Out high now for Berglund. And Berglund chased by Erat. On the cycle there for Stastny. Dropped off to Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson to Stastny. Blues are changing. On off the bench. And a shot by Ott right on goal. And a save by Smith.
And his stick just snapped in half there just as he was firing the puck.
And now the Blues again. Maintain possession. Jackman for Cole. A shot. And a save. And a rebound was in front, but Berglund couldn't get there in time. And there are a couple of broken sticks in that Arizona zone. And the puck finally out of the Coyote zone. Here's Cole to throw it back in. Now for Reeves. With 4:40 left in regulation time. You got to jump around all the garbage in that zone right now.
The yard sale down there.
Exactly.
An expensive one.
At $200 a pop or more. Here's Reeves again. He can't get very far. Now Yandel with it. And then Stone to pass up the boards, tipped along by Crombeen, but thrown the other way by Jackman.
We don't sell the old VHS recorder there at the yard sale for more than what's on the ice here, that's for sure.
Now a pass to center ice. What's the VHS, Darren?
That's the old days, kid.
Yes, it is.
You know about the 8-track.
Well, thank you. You had to bring that up. And a shot there by Shinnimin. And that goes high off the glass. And now Jackman to center ice for Oshie. Quick pass on to Backes in front. Steen kicks one to Oshie. And now Chipchura in the corner. He was stripped there by Backes. Oshie follows up. And then Steen trying to get away from his man. And now Butler in.
Good read by Butler.
And then Butler for Steen. As time ticks down here, 3:25 left in regulation time. To the point for Pietrangelo, a shot. Hits a stick, goes wide. And now Backes. Checked by Chipchura. And then finally grabbed by the Coyotes and shoveled to center ice to McMillan. And there's another broken stick. Chipchura comes in. To Moss, a drive, and Oshie blocked the shot. Another shot by Moss, and that's blocked by Allen. Oshie has done it in all three zones tonight. What a block.
Well, TJ Oshie's had a heck of a game, and the one thing you talk about TJ Oshie, there's that infectious enthusiasm that he has for the game. It's his love and passion, but it's his athletic ability as well, and I think his strength and stamina, and obviously that's a shot block there. The rebound actually, unfortunately for Oshie, it actually pops right over back to Moss after he makes that great shot block right back to Moss, and the goaltender Jake Allen makes a very good save as the Lightning have just tied the Predators in the third period.
Here's a shot by Doan, rebound to Stone, and another great chance. And Allen was very aggressive on that chance.
Especially when it goes Doan to Stone like that. Stone can fire it. Face-off win there by Antoine Vermette. And there's the play. It looked like Stone actually fanned on the puck a little bit. It went off his heel and right over to the defenseman Stone.
Yeah, it looked good, but I don't think he meant to do that.
But there's been more and more chances here, and Jake Allen's really held the fort nicely. Played a real strong, solid third period here.
Allen looking to win his 5th game in a row. His 3-0 lifetime against Arizona.
Yeah, with a minuscule goals against average of 1.33.
Now it's Reeder, number 8 in the
penalty
corner.
come up here.
Against the Blues, here's Doan, blocked by Steen, and the Blues will get their first minor of the evening.
It's a holding call, and you don't often see the reaction, but Jay Bouwmeester is not happy about this one here.
St. Louis, number 19. 2 minutes for holding.
Brian Pochmara making the call. Chris Lee and Pochmara, the referees here. We see Bouwmeester's got the stick on the inside. Now, he's not grabbing on with the left hand, as you can clearly see, but he's certainly impeding the progress with the lumber between the legs.
So Arizona on the power play. Their power play on the road is number 1 in the league at 26.9%. 6th overall. And they get a chance to tie the game here with 2.5 to play. Yandel on to Vermette. Vermette gets it from Reeder. Oh, now Yandel, nice work out high. And then Yandel again. Reeder and Yandel play catch. Now Ekman-Larsson with it. And then Yandel spins away from Oshie. Nice pass to Reeder. And he did a great job to hold it in, or Oshie might have been off to the races with Stastny. And now Smith goes off for the extra man. Puck in front. Reeder a drive. Oh, what a save there by Allen. On a point-blank chance by Reeder.
You see how far he came out to challenge that shot? Great play.
And now Vermette back of the goal. 6 attackers here. The Blues can ice the puck, though. They're short. And take a shot at the empty net. And the Coyotes get it back of the line. Ekman-Larsson for Gagne to Yandel. He comes in. Ekman-Larsson hooks it back. And then Gagne again. Waits and waits. Now Ekman-Larsson trying to penetrate. A shot blocked by Jackman. And the rebound to the corner. Here's Oshie. And now Oshie at the empty net. And that goes wide by 5 feet.
I thought that he might be in trouble. He double clutched on firing that down the ice to settle it down, kind of dusted it off and nearly lost control.
And now Gunnarsson up the boards, kept in. Ekman-Larsson down low. In front, Allen is down, and he has it with his left hand. In a skirmish right near the Blues goal.
How did he find that puck? Great focus and intensity there shown by the goaltender, who is under siege here late in this game. Moss with a little cut-in move there, and then he tries to go to the backhand. It's actually stopped, but these are the kind of plays that end up in the net because you just can't get your stance. You can't get set in there. And here's that hard shot by Reeder, and it's a great save with the left pad by Jake Allen as he challenges that shot. Pushing out there, making sure he takes away the angle against Tobias Reeder.
And now Arizona has called a timeout. Coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live, 4 top 10 schools in action and all on the road. Kentucky keep their perfect record alive. As hockey fans turn their focus toward the playoffs, is the NHL turning its focus towards Vegas? The commissioner speaks from Nevada. Plus highlights from across the NBA, including analysis from Hall of Famer Gary Payton. That's Fox Sports Live, only on Fox Sports 1. And they will leave Smith on the bench with 64 seconds left in a power play, so a 6-on-4 man-power advantage. It'll be Steen on the face-off against Vermette with an empty net at the other end. And Steen goes back to the corner. Pietrangelo gets it ahead, but not out. And now Doan feeds it back. Ekman-Larsson across to Yandel in the final minute now. Ekman-Larsson one-timer, right on goal. A save by Allen.
That's not only a good save, but having the ability to control the rebound from a long distance on a one-timer with traffic in front. Shane Doan is one of the best at getting in front of it and timing it. And here this one here, he moves out of the way just slightly, and that allows Jake Allen to see it coming through. Good eyes on the puck there by Allen. And this all came after Steen won the faceoff cleanly.
9 to go in Bouwmeester's minor now. Backus wins it. And Pietrangelo in the corner. Can't move it away. Shot from the tight angle. Allen is down as Lesio is trying to jam it in. And Bouwmeester is back. And now we have a skirmish.
You can see that Yandel and Ekman-Larsson don't want to jump into this fray because the faceoff will be to the outside. Bouwmeester comes out of the penalty box and jumps into that fray right there. But keep your eye on the paddle down there positioning of Jake Allen. And knowing that there's some pressure by Jackman on Doan, and that Doan likely won't have a step around him, he gets the paddle down, stops Doan from going north and getting a better scoring chance. And then from that point on, it's blue sweaters protecting Jake Allen from the guys in white all around.
And that was Pietrangelo. Was he hot?
This has been a really entertaining and it's been a good hockey game. I give Arizona a lot of credit here. They're not going away in this game.
After playing last night in Chicago and winning in a shootout. Now 42 seconds left.
And the crowd's into it. Look at this.
So now it's a 6-on-5 advantage as the Blues are back at full strength. Backus against Vermette. And Backus wins it easily for Pietrangelo. And his clearing attempt blocked by Gagne. Lucas Lesio in the corner.
Oh, great hands by
Oshie, but they're going to call a high stick on Oshie.
No. He was swatting that at mid-length, it looked like. But great hands by Oshie. He's looking back at the official right now. It's up in midair, right around the waist. How many times we see TJ Oshie do this? Now let's see where it is here. I mean, there, when he swats at that, that's below his shoulders. Great look at it, fellas. That's awesome.
And another face-off win by Backus, cleared by Pietrangelo at the empty net, and that goes wide by about a foot. And I don't mind that play, Darren, when you are winning a lot of face-offs.
Well,
Do you disagree?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's fine. 23 seconds left.
I like that puck high and hoisted and not icing.
Backus in Vermette again. And they will do it again.
That puck never hit the ice first. The puck has to hit the ice first. It hit one of the sticks as they were crossing the sticks over, and obviously the visiting team has to get the sticks down first.
And Vermette's toss, so Gagne will take it. Against Backus, 23 seconds to go. Blues up by 1. And the puck in the circle, grabbed by Oshie. And this one he flips high, it comes to center ice. And now Ekman-Larsson to center again. One last push by the Coyotes. And they're offside with 6.9 to go.
Well, Pietrangelo doing a good job defensively there, and when he gets the puck up Oshie actually flips it up, and Yandel nearly kept that one in with great hands. But certainly Oshie's been a premier player in this hockey game. And here's the play on the far side. You see it hit the linesman. Offside play.
6.9 to go. Stastny against Vermette. Into the boards now at the line. Shot out of the zone by Schwartz. That's going to do it. The Blues snap a 2-game losing streak with a 2-1 victory over the Coyotes. And for Coach Hitchcock, win number 692, tying Dick Irvin for 4th all time.
Well, congratulations to Ken Hitchcock. 692. He was marveling at the fact that Dick Irvin had done it in a shorter seasons along the way. Good play by Jake Allen as well. He had to be strong down the stretch, and he was.
And Yashkin with the winner, and has now picked up 4 game-winning goals of his 8 this year.
That is impressive, but even more impressive was the play of T.J. Oshie. It was Timmy time tonight here at Scottrade, and he is our Bud Light player of the game. The entire line was humming, but I thought Oshie in particular was the engine that made it happen.
As the Blues win their 35th game of the year. Let's go to Tom Calhoun for tonight's 3 stars.
My 3 stars of tonight's game. The game's 3rd star, scoring 1 goal, his 7th of the season, and playing at a forward for the Blues, number 23, Dmitry Yashkin. The game's 2nd star, scoring his 18th goal of the season, playing at a forward for the Blues, number 20, Alexander Steve. And the game's 1st star with 1 assist and playing it up forward for the Blues, number 74, T.J. Oshie.
Well, TJ, congratulations. A real well-rounded effort by the entire squad. Bouncing back from the game on Sunday, seems like you guys put that in the rearview mirror in a hurry.
Yeah, we really want to focus on getting back to our hockey, getting pucks deep, rolling 4 lines. We're at our best when everyone's getting involved. So tonight we did that, and another great standout performance by our goaltenders.
Well, speaking of your goaltender, Jake Allen, a quiet first 2 periods, but boy, did he make some great saves in the 3rd. As a group sitting on the bench watching him, did you guys feel more and more confident as that game was going on with Jake?
Yeah, definitely. When you get a couple big saves late there, when the momentum was starting to shift to their side, it really gets the boys going, gets us excited to go out there and play a little bit better for them.
Has he influenced you? Because I think I saw you block a few shots out there.
Yeah, I tend to get in the way every once in a while on accident. Luckily, they hit me tonight.
Your line in particular with David Backes and Alexander Steen, what is the key for your line when you're humming and you know that you're humming early in a hockey game?
I think it's just when we're all playing simple, we're all getting pucks deep, we're all shooting the puck. We get a lot of our opportunities off of turnovers and off of 2nd and 3rd shots. So tonight we got that back in our game. It disappeared there for a little bit, and it showed.
Big difference having Jori Lehtera back in the lineup to really solidify all 4 lines?
Yeah, he does. I think I saw Volva smiling quite a bit out here as well. So he's a great player. We missed him. He wins a lot of draws for us, and he's got really good vision on the ice. So him getting back in is big for our team.
Oshie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Great game.
Thanks, Baker.
Okay. Pat and Bernie, up to you after this victory against Arizona.
Darren Pank, thank you very much. See T.J. Oshie sprinting to the dressing room after the win and the number 1 star of the hockey game tonight. So, Bernie, the Blues have yet to lose 3 in a row in regulation. Probably a sign of a very good team when you can keep those losing skids to just 2 games.
A very poised hockey club, too. We knew that they were a little fatigued over the course of the last few days. Yesterday's day off, I think, gave them that little reprieve, and I thought they were very good after the first about 10 minutes. They kind of controlled the game. I give Arizona a lot of credit, though. They really played a strong 3rd period. They had a good push going, but as Osh just said, is that Jake Allen came up real big when they needed it in the 3rd period. So a big 2 points as they keep moving up in the standings.
Much more from Bernie Federko as we continue momentarily on Missouri Lottery Blues Live, the post-game edition. So stay with us on Fox Sports Midwest after the 2-1 Blues victory tonight over the Arizona Coyotes. The win snaps the losing streak at 2. Stay with us on Fox Sports Midwest.